talk for today. And if you know anything about New York City, everyone in the world comes to New York. So it's really cool that we're having a talk from Stephen Stock and Ferenc Varga. Stephen Stock, I'm assuming, is in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Ferenc is from Budapest, Hungary. Stephen is the founder and CEO of ITG Commerce, and Ferenc is the CTO. Since 2012, they have focused on delivering high-quality commerce solutions on the Magento platform from the offices in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Budapest, Hungary. Ferenc is a 4-time certified Magento developer and has developed and architected solutions in Magento for over a decade. His passion is exploring where progressive web apps and the marketplace opportunities can take ITG's clients. So present to you, Stephen and Ferenc.
Thank you very much for the very nice introduction. It's great to be with you all today. So we're going to take you through in our presentation today the journey of a client of ours, Modli, and their journey from Magento 1 open source to Magento Commerce Studio. It's our pleasure to be with you. Brief overview of what we're going to cover. We're going to talk a little bit about Modli and their business, give you a background about them, the platform part. The platform requirements that brought them to us and brought them to Adobe Commerce, why they chose Magento PWA, some of the technical challenges we faced during the project, and some of the the results in this of the project, and we're going to demonstrate some of those to you today. And lastly, we'll end up with covering some of Modli's plans for growth through their new platform. Brief intro about us. As mentioned, we're in Budapest, Hungary, and Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and our specialty, ITG Commerce, is Magento PWA and marketplaces, and that's why we've selected Modli specifically today as a case study for both. Again, Modli is a modest fashion marketplace operating in multiple countries with hundreds of vendors and over 50,000 products. They actually wanted to be part of this presentation today, but due to some time zone issues, I'm happy to give you an overview of their business. Their business, Modli, was founded by a husband and wife team, Nav and Josh. They've been operating since 2015, and for those first 4.5 years, we're on the Magento 1 platform. They have over 100,000 customers, and 63,000 of those are returning and actively shopping customers in the last 12 months, revisiting customers. They're growing very rapidly with over 100% per year growth. Their largest market is definitely the USA, but they also operate in many other countries such as Australia, Canada, and France. And as I mentioned, they're a marketplace. So they have two sides of the business. They have a private label and a marketplace. And for their marketplace solution, they use the U marketplace from Unergy. So when we started talking with them and they started talking with Adobe Commerce about their new platform, they had a very specific set of requirements given their experience on Magento 1. They were looking for a very fast and sleek mobile commerce experience. Modli, like a lot of merchants, has or had a very significant conversion gap between desktop and mobile. Over 75% of the shopping done on Modli was via mobile. However, there was a 50% gap between desktop conversion and mobile conversion. Part of the reason they wanted to proceed with a new platform, and with PWA specifically, was to narrow that gap. That requires extremely fast response times. They obviously wanted to expand into multiple new markets using functionality from multi-site, multi-language, and multi-currency. They are a marketplace solution. They needed a place to manage all the sellers with a single seller dashboard, which Unergy vendor. And something that's very unique about Modli, which we'll get to more later, is that they have a very complex product set, so highly bundled products, and those products represent 70 to 80% of the products purchased on their site. So it's key that the new solution get that right. So it really comes down, when they were looking for their new platform, they wanted, of course, increased conversion on mobile. They wanted a single place to manage the content, which Magento gives them, and they wanted that, sleek and mobile commerce experience. So, Ferenc, I'd ask you to kind of, as I've given you an overview of the business requirements of Modli, I'd ask you to kind of detail why they chose Magento Commerce and specifically Magento PWA Studio.
Okay, so first of all, the page builder is the only solution that is available to Magento PWA Studio and Magento Commerce. These are the only tools that provide it on the side. And marketing capabilities were extremely important for Modli. Their marketing team had struggled a lot with the former system. They wanted to have a solution where they can add rich content themselves and to do it without the need of designers or technical assistance. So that was one of the crucial requirements. And of course, there are some other tools and solutions, PWA solutions out there that can work together with Magento 2 or even Magento 2 Commerce. But carefully studying their features and capabilities, it was clear that a solution developed directly by Magento is much more has more compatibility with Magento itself. So PWA Studio has a maximum compatibility to Commerce, and on the front end side, it's based on React.js, which itself has a huge community and a lot of ready-built components that are available. We use a lot of them ourselves as well. And PWA Studio has a very aggressive release strategy. They are working very hard on it, and newer features are coming up every 1 or 2 months.
That's right. I think 3 or 4 major releases just this year. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. So PWA Studio started on 5.0 and 8.0 was just released 2 weeks ago.
Very good. So that gives you kind of the background of Modli from a business perspective and why they made the platform choices they did. But now we want to talk a little bit about some of the key technical challenges we faced as we've gone through the project. I'm sure that a lot of other agencies are facing as well, and describe a bit how we've solved those, and then demonstrate you some results of that. So, yeah, Ferenc, could you, let's talk about a few of these, maybe starting with the multicolor bundle products, which is, kind of unique to Modli, and if you could describe that, some of the challenges we face there.
Yeah, so as Steve mentioned, this is the product type that is most widely used and most popular product type on Modli. It combines the features of bundle products and configurable products. So it's a kind of clothing set, and you can select the different as individual configurable products themselves. So this clothing set is made up from 3 different configurable products practically, and all the permutations and the combinations add up to hundreds of simple products, which of course should provide the same same seamless experience as a regular bundle and configurable product.
So we'll get into performance a little bit later in another slide. So maybe if you could touch on multi-site and marketplace and how important that is for Modli, and then we'll show a little bit about the work we've done.
So yes, so Modli is a global operation with 9 languages and at least 9 correct currencies available at the moment, and the number is growing. And the real challenge here was that at the time we started working with this feature, Magento PW Studio didn't have a solution for this yet, but the foundations were there, so we were able to leverage the existing features both on the backend and frontend side, and we developed our own solution, multi-site translations and of course handling of multiple currencies.
Very good. Thanks, Ferenc. So I think if we can move on to the next slide and show the audience some of what we've done here and take them through the site a little bit, starting maybe with Page Builder and how we've implemented that as I click play here. Ferenc?
So Page Builder is so widely used in Modli that the homepage essentially only created with Page Builder, but of course in different combinations and with different building blocks. So the footer, for example, is a purely Page Builder content, and CMS blocks are used for that. So the stripe that you can see at the top of the page is another CMS block, and the main content is created as a CMS page with Page Builder. And we have a special Page Builder plugin which enables the marketing team to insert and embed different types of no-stow recommendations anywhere throughout the page. So here on the home page, we have 2 or 3 different recommendation types, which are all inserted through Page Builder.
Right. Very good. And if we move on to sorry, let me reload that. If we move on to multicolor bundles, as we go through the homepage and to the multicolor bundles, as Ferenc alluded to earlier, that's 70 to 80% of Modli's business. And as we assemble those products, there's actually 1,000 different permutations on a single page here of different products, which was a key challenge to overcome. And then as you go through the selection and into checkout, here you can see the number of different options, again, that are in the hundreds, up to 1,000 per page, is obviously a key challenge. And as we add to cart and we go into the split cart, here we actually have multiple products, multiple vendors, with separate shipping methods by vendor. Again, leveraging Unity, but a key feature of the site. Multi-vendor, multiple shipping methods, split cart by vendor. So able to pull from multiple vendors here. And then to conclude this little video, as we've been talking about multi-site and multi-language and multi-currency, this is already in 9 sites and currencies. They're only going to continue to expand, Modli is, with their new platform. And as we switch to Hebrew here, this is throughout they're translating the site and is a key feature for the growth of their business. So those are probably the key technical challenges that were overcome, kind of how and the results of some of that, some of the features. Certainly, with any progressive web app, with any implementation of it, the key thing is about performance, and how do you get the performance that gives that app-like feel to the end user, which then drives the conversion. So if we could dive a little bit deeper into the performance enhancements, Ferenc, specifically around how we use, and get a little bit technical, specifically about how we use Elastic GraphQL. I'm sure the developers in the audience would appreciate it.
So one of the biggest challenges of WebShop is to balance the caching technologies and the dynamic content. And Elasticsearch is a tool that lets us do both things at the same time. So as we started working with layered navigation and search, we realized that the performance of the SQL queries is not ideal, and we came to the solution using Elasticsearch, which was developed especially for these kind of things. So it has support for layered navigation through aggregations by default, and it's also provides a very fast access to its own index database. So what we did, we created a solution where the catalog implementation of the GraphQL is switched from the regular default stock Magento GraphQL engine to separate different custom endpoint that communicates directly with Elasticsearch and can serve content that is cached and dynamic at the same time.
Very good, very good. Thanks a lot, Ferenc. So to kind of conclude today's talk and dive into Modli's project. Obviously, in this platform to grow their business even further, and they have this year, and leverage Magento, their Magento PWA Studio store for many years to come. And I think that really comes down to 4 key things that they are going to get out of this project, and that is, the multi-site, multi-currency, multi-language capabilities. Why is that important for them as a merchant? That allows them to aggressively scale their business into new markets. Going into a new market was very labor intensive for them in the past. This is much faster now. Different ways of interaction with their customers. So they're now able to have a single source of management for multiple different channels. And that cuts down on overhead, which is obviously increases the efficiency of their business. Importantly, now Modli can focus on marketing and growth. So reduced overhead of site management and quicker time to market. So if you combine all these different feature sets together, their focus has been very much on tech things, and now it becomes a focus on marketing and growth, which is ultimately what we want to do for our merchants, allow them to run their business and grow it. So, and then this, of course, with any PWA site, higher performance and conversion by narrowing the gap between mobile and desktop, and ultimately increasing the revenue through higher conversions. So it's been a pleasure to present the Modli case study for you today about this great project and this great client we've been working with. Happy to hand it over now for any questions.
Thanks, Ferenc and Stephen. We have one question from Maninder Singh. His question was, Page Builder has the option to update content for mobile also. Is that an option that will work for PWA directly, or do we need some specific code to combine the PWA code and the Page Builder code? Yeah.
So right now, the solution consists of two parts. One is Magento 2 Commerce backend, the admin interface. That's where the marketing team works, and they use it to add content. Of course, they can use their mobile phones to add content, no problem. But it's the backend and the front end, it's still separated.
Okay.
So it's a regular Magento backend that is used for updating page builder content.
Okay, great. Maninda, if that fully answers your question, feel free to ask a follow-up. We have a second question from Brian Essig, who's another speaker today. And he's like, is this live or is it still in development? And if it's in development, what's the ETA for launch?
Tuesday next week, election day.
Okay, great. Yeah, there you go. Tuesday next week. That's all the questions we have right now. If anybody else has another question, feel free to ask it in the Q&A tab, and I will relay to our speakers. Yeah, no questions from my end. So yeah, so what we'll do, we've got about 5 minutes until the next speaker. We'll take a quick break and jump to some slides, and then we'll be back with another great talk before lunch. So I'll see you guys soon.